Today we're looking at a very unique EDC slash duty belt combination from the Neomag. You heard me right, this is an EDC belt and a duty belt and a battle belt all built into one, which is really cool, and it's very customizable to the person. So let's get right into the first 30-second breakdown. That's where in the first 30 seconds, give or take, I give you guys my exact thoughts on this product before we get into the full review. That way you can just stop watching because now you know exactly what I think about this product, or you can go into the full review, find out exactly why I say these things, and it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. So the Alias belt. As you can see here on the inside, you have all these adapters on the inside. So if you want to wear this as just your normal EDC belt, you can absolutely do that. So I have my tier 1 concealed holster here for my Hellcat that I can clip on. You have the Alias fork system, which has been around for a little while now, and you're able to just clip that on to the adapter. Now, if you want to then switch to an outside the waistband setup or a duty belt to go out to the range, all you have to do is take that off and then clip on your Alias setup with your Safariland holster. So this has a drop mount here, so you can change your heights depending on what height you want. You have a QLS system. You can also use G-code, and then you have the adapter right here on the belt. From the outside, you can't tell there's anything there. But from the inside, you have your adapter sitting right there, able to attach whatever accessories you would like. As you can tell from the inside of the belt, you have all these holes. You are able to attach these adapters anywhere on here to basically make this as customizable as possible. You could put an adapter on every single one of these slots if you wanted to, if you really want to spend the money on the extra adapters, or you could just do what I did and place them exactly where you think you would want them. It might take a couple tries or some trial and error to have this exactly the way you want it set up, but what other duty belt don't you have to mess around with and change some things around before you have it exactly how you want it? So you might have to do that. It is a little intimidating at first because you have to do a lot of assembly yourself, but it's cool in the sense that you can really customize this belt exactly the way you want it. You might be asking, aren't you gonna feel these adapters when you have this around your belt and it's tight? Absolutely, you're gonna notice that they're there. It is not as uncomfortable as I thought. I was thinking like, oh my goodness, this piece of metal driving into my leg all day is gonna be uncomfortable, but it was not that uncomfortable after the testing that I've done. I will continue to update you guys later, but they also do come with foam inserts. Each adapter comes with 2 pieces of foam that go side by side here to help, I guess, deaden the fact that there's a piece of metal right there and make it more streamlined feel around your waist. Before we get any further in the video, let's go over the sponsors of the video, Brownells and Exothermal Technologies. Brownells has been a huge supporter of the channel. You can use code TA10 to save 10% on orders $150 or more, and I highly recommend that you take advantage of that. And I can't do anything that I've done without them. They have been so helpful, and I've been able to do a lot of these builds with them. They have pretty much everything on their website, so definitely take a look at them and see if you can find anything to help you in your projects. And then Exothermal Technologies, well, let me just show you. It's a flamethrower. It's really not a ton to say to that. And what makes this even cooler is you can attach this to your gun, which I don't know. That is just one of the coolest things you could think of. It's like a video game when you're adding your attachments. You have like underbarrel shotgun. This is an underbarrel flamethrower, and it's legal, and you can absolutely have so much fun with this. We were burning up some brushes. Here's some video of my grandpa out there. He's 83 years old, and he's having a blast with this. But really, really cool equipment, and you can have accessories as well to make it even better. You can get different sized ones on their website, and you can also have like a backpack attachment to be able to hold more fuel, but definitely take a look at them. And thank you to the sponsors for supporting the channel and helping me do what I do here. But let's get right into the video. Let's get to my relationship with Neomag. They did send me this product pre-release, which is nice because I was able to test this before it was released, which is today, and be able to give you information on this to help you make a better decision if this is something you want to purchase. So I did not spend my own money on this, and I do appreciate them for doing that. This is such a cool concept and an idea. Being able to basically have a 2-in-1 belt that works really well and allows you to customize things a lot. You don't have to just attach firearm and mag pouches on here. You can attach whatever you want. You can attach tourniquet, you can attach handcuffs, you can attach any kind of accessories that would be able to have MOLLE, or you'd be able to attach on anything else like a battle belt or your plate carrier. You're gonna be able to put on this belt. So not only are your concealed carry users or your guys that just wanna be prepared are gonna be interested in this, but I can see plainclothes law enforcement being really interested in this, in the sense that you can run concealed carry, and if something happens where, okay, now we have to go out there maybe maybe pull your rifle or do whatever you gotta do, you can now just clip in the accessories that you need and then go out and do whatever that you need to do. But you'll be able to have the ability to have all these accessories ready to go, and you don't have to switch belts. You don't have to throw AR mag pouches in your pocket, your handcuffs. You can then just have one right back here for the small of your back. That's where I usually carry my handcuffs. You can just clip that in. You can clip your mag carrier with your mag already in it, and you can run out, and then you have at least your accessories and somewhat of your tools on the belt. Or you can run this just like you would your duty belt and have adapters all the way around it. There's no limit to what you can do. As you can see, there's holes all the way around this, so you can put adapters in every single one of these holes. I just used 4 of them because that's all I personally want to use right now, because this is where I could still carry, or these are actually flip-flopped. I just did it for the looks because it made more sense. But this is where my duty belt would be, because it's kind of there on my front of my hip. This is the back side of my hip where I can still carry, and then AR mag pouch right here, and then pistol mag pouch right up front. So you're able to attach whatever you want. So if you have a radio, if you have tourniquet, handcuffs, throw them all wherever you normally put them. A benefit along with somewhat of a downfall with this system and the fact that it's bolted to a location, it doesn't move. The good side is the fact that I don't want this to move. I want this to where it's always at. So when I'm running my holster, I want it to be in that same location. So you don't have to worry about things sliding and moving and shifting. You don't have to worry about your concealed carry moving a little bit to the left or right where you don't want it, and you have to shift it back. It's always in that same location. So as long as you put your belt on the same way, that is never gonna move. It's always gonna be in the same spot. But it can be a downfall in the sense that maybe that spot shifts a little bit, or your belt shifts a little bit, or you didn't tighten it exactly the same way you did last time, and it might be in a little different position, and there's no way to actually move it. If this is like, oh, this is kind of uncomfortable, it's on my hip in a weird way, you're kind of screwed unless you just take the belt off and move it a little bit, or you move the location. So that is one thing to note. The great thing, because all your mag carriers and everything will not move, you don't have to worry about any kind of shifting, but at the same time, it doesn't move. So if you don't like that, it could be a con. You have a spot here that stretches. It's not anything that's gonna stretch like a bungee cord and be ridiculous, but it does give you a little give. So if you sit down, it relaxes a little bit, and if you stand up, it tightens back up, which is nice. So I'll be interested to see how that holds up over time. I've only had this for about 2 weeks, so I haven't had it for a super long time, but I will keep you guys updated on how that works. So you bring this in, and then you just slap it over like that, and that is how you put your belt on. I would like to see some sort of like tensioner in here maybe in the future. One really good thing about Neomag is they take feedback really well, and they're always innovating and changing things and updating for the better. So this is version 1. Really excited to see what they come out in the future. This really gives you a really open book on what you can do. And it's cool. The design and the concept is fantastic, and the way they presented it is really neat. So I'm really happy with what they did, and I love that they're constantly trying to innovate and change. I'm sure when they get a bunch of feedback from people using these, they'll might come out with a version 2, or everyone will be like, these things are amazing. But it's really cool to see what they came up with. But I would like to see a tensioner in here. I have a 511 belt that has a piece that just kind of locks it into place, so it's a little bit tighter there. This is a plastic piece, not metal, that makes that connection. And then you can tighten it and loosen it based off of where you want it. So if you want to loosen it a little bit, you can then go back down and do that if you would like. Durability wise, all the material looks good. The polymer piece right here and maybe the elastic are the only places I could see being a break point or a weak point. This piece right here seems very durable. The actual belt itself is very rigid and very strong. All the Alias units I know for a fact are strong because I've been using that system since it came out, and I've never had any issues. So I don't have any problems with that setup. But if there is a weak point, I could see it being right here in this point. Again, only had it for 2 weeks, so I can't say that I've worn it to the point to where I could say, oh, absolutely, this thing's super durable. But as for everything else, I don't think you're gonna have really any issues with durability. Put a notification down here for the prices of this whole setup. So if you are new to the Alias system, it is gonna be a little bit more of a price tag because you're gonna have to buy everything somewhat new. If you're already an Alias user, the price tag is gonna be a lot lower because you're probably gonna already have some accessories. You'll just have to buy a couple of the adapters. Is it expensive? Yes. As an initial purchase, but the benefit of this system is the fact that you kind of have a 2-in-1, so you don't have to buy 2 different setups. So if you add up all the costs of the 2 different setups, it is very comparable to that. So if you are an avid Alias user and you've used this system and you really like it and you've kind of adapted that as your primary setup, then you are going to absolutely love this. Because not only is this belt going to be really useful, but the fact that they have other items like the beltless carry here. So you could switch your concealed carry over here to this Alias system. They also have setups here with Velcro for your bag carry. So if you're somebody that uses like Vertex bags, I carry a lot of times in Vertex bags. You can use a discount code here to save money. But I carry carry a ton of my Vertex bags, and this system just allows you to slap that in there, and now you can switch your holster over to your Vertex setup. You can switch your bag carriers over there. You can switch your handguns, whatever you want. You slap this in your bag, you can get 2 or 3 of these, put these all in your bag, and now you have all your tools inside that bag. So Neomag is not only just making kind of like a one-off, like, okay, this is cool, like you could buy this belt setup and just use this belt. It's more of you have a one-stop shop for all of your items all here with the Alias system. Is it something that's gonna be a little expensive to get into? Absolutely, because you have to buy all the new things. But again, if you have like decided, no, this is what I'm going with Alias and I like it, then you can do a lot more than just the belt with it. You have more options and they're constantly coming out with more things. So I do think that's really cool and something that I'm gonna kind of look into. Is this worth me switching everything over? Because I already have a ton of the accessories just because I've been testing all their stuff since they came out. So it might make sense just to switch everything over. And now I have the ability to rotate stuff, use a belt, kind of a 2-in-1 setup, and then all my bag setups and shorts or anything without a belt. I think if you're an avid Alias user, you are going to absolutely love this setup. So what comes in the package when you purchase this? You get your belt and you get one of the Alias adapters, and everything else you're just going to want to purchase along with it based off of what you want. Installation, it can be intimidating, very simple to do. Whenever you have to install something yourself and kind of make it yourself, it's intimidating. Usually you want something you want to just deliver and be like, sweet, it's here. That's why like battle belts I've always been kind of intimidated by, and why I never really super got into them, because I was like, man, like there's always so many options. I just want less options. I'm a simple man and I want simple options. So it was intimidating at first, but once I installed one of them, it was pretty simple. One thing to note, so this is a Kiwi pouch, mag pouch, an AR mag pouch. Jeez, I said pouch a lot. I'm not gonna say pouch the rest of the video because of that. A Kiwi AR mag carrier thing. And this one fit just fine with the Molly. I'm showing you guys a ton of B-roll by now, I'm sure. The Kiwi double mag pouch, this is the gap version. So there's 2 versions. They have the normal version, which is a little more squished together, and then there's the gap version. You're gonna notice there's stitching in the middle. The fork does not fit in between that stitching. So I contacted Neomag, I talked to them about this, and they're aware of it, and they said, absolutely, there's gonna be new forks, new setups coming out. This is just their first setup so far. So if you are dedicated to this, this is the pouch that I actually got for this setup, and it didn't end up working, so I ended up having to go with a single for right now. That is something to note, but just know by the time this video comes out, or by the time you might be purchasing it, they'll probably be looking into, if not already, have made a new setup. And all they need to do is extend the fork like a hair and it would fit. It's just the fork's a little bit too thin to go in between that stitching. Another thing to mention here with my single mag pouch, so this one has your Molly strip on the back. You know how like you wow, what word do I want to use it? You woven it in, we're sticking with that one. When you woven it into your Molly, you have that piece that comes out. A handful of companies will just have a piece of plastic that you just wove in. We're sticking with it. We really are. It's a rough one. You wove it in and it locks in, but it's not sewn in. Some of these are sewn in like this one. So what I did to get around this flap just being here, I just put it straight down through all those Molly cuts on the back. It hangs out a little bit right here. If I am dedicated to the system, I'm just gonna cut it off and leave it. Not a big deal. I was just using this to test it because the Kiwi didn't work out, so I went and threw this one on real quick, and I wanted to see if it worked because I was like, well, people are gonna ask about this probably. So you can just put it straight down and it still connects just fine. It's not gonna get in your way. It's just gonna have a little dangly. If you want to, you can cut that down, or you can pull the whole thing up, cut it off. That's up to you. It's gonna be a personal preference. Honestly, if you're dedicated to the system, I would just cut it off and be done with it. So is this the belt for you? If you are one of those guys that wants a dedicated battle belt or a duty belt and you're like, no, I'm just looking for a battle belt, I would say probably not. I would say this is more for those of you that are looking for kind of a do-it-all. You know, like I don't really have either a battle belt or a duty belt, or I want to upgrade them, then this is definitely going to be something you'd be interested in looking into. If you're like, no, I just want a really nice dedicated battle belt, I would probably say you'd want to go somewhere else. That's always my goal, is to help you make a better purchase decision, decide if this is something you want or maybe to steer away from. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I'd be happy to help you if I can, but I hope this video was able to help you make a decision if this is the setup that you want to go with or not. Like I said before, I've only had this belt for 2 weeks. I just want to get you guys a video pre-release to give you an idea of what the belt's all about, how to set it up, and my initial thoughts. I will give you guys further thoughts and updates as I wear this and I test this. I plan on using this a lot and really seeing if this is something that I want to completely switch to, or maybe it's not something I want to use, and I'll keep you guys updated on that the further that I test it. If you guys are looking to help out the channel, things I do here, there's a couple ways to do that down in the description. There are some discount codes from companies that I personally trust that you can use to save some money, and there's a link to my link tree that you can use to order anything. Using those links does help out the channel. I do appreciate that. If not, I just appreciate you guys liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and being interactive in the comments is always super helpful. A couple of companies that support me in the channel are Howitzer, Brownells, and Hold Up Display. Hold Up Display make these amazing racks. Howitzer is a clothing brand that donates 5% of proceeds to charity, and they donate over $1 million, and they have some amazing clothes. They've collaborated with my own t-shirt. There's a link in the description for that. And Brownells, using code TA10 will save you 10% on orders of $100 or more, and they are an absolutely awesome company that supports my channel and the things I do. Other than that, guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate you all.